Hi Stampers! Welcome back to another quick and inspiring card making session with me. I'm Nancy Novak. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Well, Easter will be here before you know it, so all this week I'm featuring some inspiring Easter projects using Stampin' Up's excellent egg bundle, which includes the stamp set and the coordinating dies. So this will give you plenty of time to get creative and hopefully get inspired and get the bundle ahead of time so you can have all your cards made and sent out so you can enjoy the holiday. So for today's card, we'll be using the largest egg die, and it's cut with some of that pretty designer series paper from the Flight and Airy designer series pack. That is a free item in the Sale-a-bration catalog. And this piece here, that's from the trusty Toolbox designer series paper. That's also a free item in Sale-a-bration. And then I texturized the background with the softly sophisticated embossing folder. So this is a really cute stamp set. It's got some really cute images, cute little bunny, and some nice spring and Easter and just thinking of you sentiments. Also has the die set, has several different size eggs that you can cut out, and they all have a really pretty stitching around the edge. And then of course it has some decorative elements that you can add to the eggs, has the little bunny, and this one is really cute. It's got a lot of stitching on it. So stay with me all week. I'm going to show you lots of tips and hopefully give you some great ideas. And let's look at today's card. So I have a boho blue card base. And for this card, I'm using Very Vanilla for the inside and for the front. And then I have some scraps of Very Vanilla and boho blue. And then I have small pieces of the designer series paper. Let me show you the designer series paper that we're using, the full sheet. So again, it's from the Flight and Airy designer series paper. So that's one side, but we're using the opposite side to create our pretty Easter card. And then this piece here, that's from the trusty Toolbox designer series paper. If you remember, we made a card out of this paper last week. So now I'm using a couple of the pieces left over for today's card. I'm using one of the new in colors called Copper Clay. And first thing I'm going to do is stamp the sentiment. And on the front, I'm stamping Hello Spring. So now I'm going to bring in my cutting machine and we're going to emboss this. But before we do, we got to add this piece right here. So I'm going to add that with a little bit of a snail. I'll bring in this card so you can see. So I'm just putting it in the bottom third section of the card. Okay, so now I'm going to texturize that with the softly embossed folder. Very, very pretty. I know it's hard to see the texture on camera, but it is really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my little machine here, and we're going to bring in the largest die for the eggs, and I'm going to cut one out in the pretty blue designer series paper. And I'm going to cut one more out with the pretty floral designer series paper. And I'm only going to cut a piece of it. I don't need a whole egg, so I'm going to cut just the top part out. So far, so good. Now I'm going to bring this die in, and I'm going to bring in our scraps of Very Vanilla. So I need one in Very Vanilla and two in boho blue. Okay, so there are our three zigzags that we need. I'm going to bring in a little scrap, and I'm going to bring back in Copper Clay, and we're going to stamp the bunny and cut him out. So here's our little die. And I'll just run him through, and I'll be right back. Okay, we'll bring in our pieces, and I'll show you how I put the egg together. So I'm bringing my little cutter. And I'm going to cut the top part down to about 2 inches. So I'm lining it up right there at 2 inches. And that's going to go right on the top of our egg. So I'm going to glue that on. Now the zigzags, I'm going to go ahead and glue those on, and they will fit right inside each other. So I'm just kind of looking. I think I'm going to put the very vanilla one right across that line, and then I'll put one blue one at the bottom and a blue one at the top. So I'll just let that sit for a second, let the glue set, and then we'll turn it over and we'll trim it up and we'll add our little bunny. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside. So I'm bringing back copper clay. So I'm going to stamp Happy Easter, and I noticed that I did not adhere the sticker, so let me show you how I did that really quick. Really great idea here. So we're going to bring in the little labels, and I'm peeling it off. Happy Easter. Peeling the whole thing off the sheet, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on my stamping block. I'm just putting it on really lightly. Now I'm going to peel off the backing, and that will expose the sticky. Okay, so now I'll just bring this in just so you can see it a little bit better. So you want to make sure that your stamp is in the right direction, which it is. And then I'm just going to go ahead and, it's not in the right direction. There we go. And I'm just going to line it up. So you look top to bottom, left to right. And when you're happy, just go ahead and attach it just like that. So now it's ready to stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp Happy Easter on the inside of our card. Look how pretty that font is. I always say that Stampin' Up's stamps have, the sentiments have the best font. Look how pretty that is. Now I have a little piece of that designer series paper, and I think I'm going to cut that even thinner. So I'm going to cut it down to about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to adhere this to the inside, and trying to decide where I'd like it. And I think I'm going to put it at the bottom. Okay, let's finish putting our card together. So I'm just going to turn our egg over and trim the extra off. Okay, I'm going to attach the front piece that we finished to the front of the card. Then I'm going to pop the egg up, and I'm going to glue our little bunny on here. Okay, this is called Simply Elegant Trim, and it comes in a pack with gold and silver, and I'm just going to tie a double bow here. And I'll attach that bow with a little glue dot. So I'm going to squish that glue dot so it's a little bit tiny, so it fits just behind the knot of the bow. We'll add it right to the top of our egg. Before I glue the inside, let's take a minute here. I'm going to put up on the screen the sizes that I use to make today's cards. So now you can take a little screenshot, and I'll take this moment to thank you all for being here. And if you're new, go ahead and click subscribe and that notification bell. Say hi and tell us where you are coming from, so we'll give you a nice warm welcome. And to all my recurring visitors, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Okay, now let's glue the inside, and we'll take a final peek at our card. So again, I'll be here all week with the excellent egg bundle. I've got an Easter basket I want to share with you, and a couple of other very pretty cards. And there you go. So I hope you liked it. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to go ahead and visit my blog for all of the supplies that I used in today's card, and a nice big picture. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.